Hey guys, Santa Clocks here with another set of NFL predictions. This time it's week 15. There are no more bye weeks. Everybody has played the same amount of games, 13 games to be exact. So the last 4 weeks of the season, um, there are some playoff clinching scenarios this week. So, yeah. Anyways, tonight we have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to go with the 49ers. They actually look pretty good. They just beat Tom Brady. They're currently 9-4. I think they can clinch the NFC West division title with a win here. And some other stuff going on, but I'm not exactly sure what the other scenarios are for that. But I think the 49ers clinch the NFC West, um, and the Seahawks would be in second. So I think the 49ers beat the Seahawks here. That would put them at 7-7, and the 49ers would end up advancing to 10-4. I think they would clinch a playoff berth with a win here. So, and the division title. The Indianapolis Colts take on the Minnesota Vikings. These next three games are on NFL Network. Um, I'm going with the Vikings. The Vikings have a playoff clinching scenario as well. They could clinch the NFC North with a win, um, and they could clinch a playoff berth as well. So, um, they could clinch home field advantage here. It'll just depend on the seeding, on what the wild card is going to look like. So, but the Vikings will beat the Colts. They would be 11-3. The Colts would end up being 4-9-1. So, Colts just came off a bye week. So, yeah, I'm gonna pick the Vikings here. The Baltimore Ravens take on the Cleveland Browns. I am going to go with the Ravens. I think that there are no clinching scenarios in the North just yet. It's a pretty tight race between the Ravens and Bengals for the division title, but the Ravens will probably win the division if the Bengals lose this week. So, but I'm gonna pick the Ravens. That would put them at 10-4, and the Browns, they would be 5-9. I think they would miss the playoffs either way. I don't think they would be eliminated. I don't think they would be mathematically eliminated right then and there. But, we've seen other things happen. So, we did get an elimination this week. It was the Broncos. Broncos lost to Kansas City. They're 3-10, the last place in the AFC West. So, they're out of the playoffs. So, yeah, I'm picking the Ravens to beat the Browns. The Miami Dolphins take on the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go with the Bills. Dolphins just lost to the Los Angeles Chargers, who actually have to lose, and they don't have to lose. I think the Chiefs could clinch the AFC West with a win or a Chargers loss or tie or a KC tie. So, but they have weird scenarios. But if the Bills win, they clinch a playoff berth. I don't think they clinch the AFC East right then and there, but they do clinch a playoff spot in the AFC. But I'm going to pick the Bills. They would be 11-3. The Dolphins would be 8-6. I think if the Dolphins went out, I think they could end up being one of the wild card spots. They're currently 8-6, but they're currently 8-5. The Bills are 10-3, so this is gonna be a pretty good matchup. I'll tell you that. That's on NFL Network on Saturday. On Sunday, here's Sunday slate of games. The Philadelphia Eagles take on the Chicago Bears. The Eagles clinched a playoff spot this past weekend after who did they just beat? After beating the Giants. They have to play the Bears now. The Bears are eliminated from the playoffs. Only three teams are out We'll probably see more teams after this week too. But the Eagles are currently 12-1. They have the best record in the NFL. The Bears are currently 3-10, and they're out of the playoff picture. They were mathematically eliminated in Week 13. But I'm going to pick the Eagles. The Eagles over the Bears. The Eagles will be 13-1, and the Bears, they will be 3-11. Jeez, 13-1. This feels like the Chiefs 2 years ago. The Detroit Lions take on the New York Jets. I'm going to go with the Lions, actually, as an underdog. They've been actually doing really well, especially in, they just beat whoever. Who did they just beat? I forget. They just beat up the Vikings. They just beat up the current NFC North division leaders, and they're currently second place in the NFC North. The Jets are kind of on the hot seat right now. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll be out of a wild card spot. And that'll just depend on how the last 4 games of the year. The Lions will end up being 7-7, and the Jets, they will be also 7-7. So I'm not really sure how to feel about the Jets right now. But I am picking the Detroit Lions, and they are favored by 3 points, so it makes sense to pick them there. The Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Just because the Panthers beat up the Seahawks. But I am going to go with the Steelers just because, just to be safe. I don't really want to pick the Panthers just because I don't like them. The Panthers don't have a good team. Even though they're 5-8, I think that they'll lose their last 4 games handily and then keep that 5-win season streak going, which is spanning 3 seasons right now. 2019, they went 5-11. 2020 they went 5-11. 2021 they went 5-12. So just got to keep that up. But I'm picking the Steelers. The Steelers are currently 5-8, and the Panthers are 5-8. So that would put the Steelers at 6-8, and the Panthers 5-9. The Kansas City Chiefs take on the Houston Texans. I am going to go with the Chiefs. This is an easy matchup for the Chiefs anyway. Texans are the worst team in the NFL currently. They don't have any talent. They don't have the motivation. I don't think it's Lovie Smith's fault that they're losing games. They almost beat the Texans. They almost beat the Cowboys last week. But I don't think they're going to put up any sort of fight against the Chiefs. I think they're just going to lay down and die because we have a better offense. So the Chiefs will be 11-3, and they can clinch the AFC West with a win. And the Texans will be 1-12-1. I think they'll get the first pick in the draft. But I don't think they'll clinch that right away. I think they'll clinch that near the end of the year. The Atlanta Falcons take on the New Orleans Saints. 2 teams just came off a bye week, but I am going to go with the Falcons. The Falcons are starting Desmond Ridder at quarterback. The Saints, I'm not sure who they're starting, just because we haven't seen them since Week 13. So maybe Andy Dalton. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to go with the Falcons over the Saints. The Falcons would be 6-8, and the Saints would be 4-10, probably eliminated from the playoffs. The Dallas Cowboys take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. The Cowboys can clinch a playoff spot. They won't clinch the NFC East. Eagles are a couple of games ahead of them, so I think the Eagles will clinch the NFC East this year. They've already clinched a playoff spot. And as for the Jaguars, they would be 5-9 after this loss to the Cowboys. That would put them at 11-3. They can clinch a playoff spot here if they win, which is very likely that they do win. The Arizona Cardinals take on the Denver Broncos. I'm going to go with the Cardinals to be safe. I don't really like the odds there, but, both of these teams are pretty trash. They're Cardinals are 4-9, and the Broncos are 3-10. But, you know, I think the Cardinals advanced to 5-9, and the Broncos 3-11. The Broncos are pretty bad. Even though they did put up a fight against Kansas City, I think they're still kind of bad. So I'm gonna go with the Cardinals going to 5-9, and the Broncos going to 3-11. The New England Patriots take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Bill Belichick is gonna face off against his former coordinator and Josh McDaniels. I'm gonna go with the Patriots. Raiders. Wow, what happened last Thursday against the Rams? I don't know what happened, but they lost. They're 5-8. Patriots are currently 7-6. I think they will be 8-6 with this win, and the Raiders will be 5-9. After this. But I am picking the Patriots for that game. The Tennessee Titans take on the Los Angeles Chargers. I've had some time to think about this, but I am going to go with the Titans. Even though they're kind of on the verge of collapse, I think they can beat the Chargers. I don't know how the Chargers beat the Dolphins, but, Dolphins have been looking kind of suspect, so. But I am going to pick the Titans. They will be 8-6. The Chargers will be 7-7. I think they'll be about. I think they could go like 9-8 or something if they get stuff together here. So, but I'm going to go with the Titans over the Chargers. But, that probably will be wrong, but that's okay. My Week 13 picks were horrendous, so. The Cincinnati Bengals take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Super Bowl runners-up versus the Super Bowl 55 champion, Bengals and Bucks, Joe Burrow versus Tom Brady. I'm going to go with the Bengals. The Bucks aren't really good, especially, Tom Brady doesn't look good. He just got his ass kicked by a rookie who had his first career start. And I don't understand that, so, yeah. Anyways, I'm going with the Bengals. The Bengals will be 10-4, and the Bucks, they would be 6-8. One of those teams is going to win that division and make the playoffs. I don't think any of them deserve it, but, But, one of those division leaders has to win. They has to win that division, so it could possibly be the Carolina Panthers, which is saying something because this season is so chaotic, you don't even know what's going on. The Panthers could win that division and make the playoffs as a 4 seed. No matter what, the NFC South winner is going to get the 4th seed because they'll have a worse record than the other 3 seeds. So, yeah, I think, the NFC South winner is going to get that 4th seed. So, anyways, Sunday Night Football, we have the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. I'm going to go with the Giants. The last time these two teams met, they tied, unfortunately. I didn't really expect them to tie, but, I don't know why they implement ties in the NFL to begin with. But, it should either be a win or lose, kind of like in baseball. It should be a win or lose record. It shouldn't be win, loss, tie. I don't like win, loss, tie records at all. Just because, like, I mean, it works in other football, but not this football. In the, you know. Also, my prediction for the World Cup final, France is going to defeat Argentina. Messi is going to retire without a ring, and you know, France is going to win it again because they're France. Anyways, I'm going to pick the Giants over the Commanders. They would be 8-6-1. Oh wait, no, they would be 8-5-1, and the Commanders would be 7-6-1. So hopefully these teams don't tie again. I have never seen two ties in a single record ever. I don't think I've ever seen one. But, you know, anything can happen. And lastly, on Monday night, we have the LA Rams taking on the Green Bay Packers. Rams just put a really good comeback drive against the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Packers, they're kind of ready to give up. But I am going to go with the Packers just because the Rams aren't really that good either. Both of these teams are probably out of the playoffs, but with this loss, they'll probably be out. So we'll see more teams out this week than we did last week. So anyways, next week is Christmas weekend. We get 3 games on Christmas. Everything else is on Christmas Eve. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the countdown video. But for predictions, we'll see you guys next week when we look at Week 16 and talk about the games that happened in Week 15.